So we're going to skip the map veto. We've just been told that the map is going to be...
Villa!
Hey! So we get to play on the same map twice in a row, but
Yeah.
it's going to be different teams this time, so potentially different strats. We'll find out.
Yeah. And we will definitely be verifying that northeast spawn of the sunlight.
So actually, I did do some more Googling in this series. It turns out it can deviate from just east and west, so a little bit. So, yeah.
Yeah, it does depend on where you are, right?
Right, and a lot of different things. And
I remember back in school, they used to teach us, like, oh, yeah, the sun rises from behind the mountain. And you're like, well, what if I live in a place where there's no mountains? How do I know?
Did they really teach you that in school?
Yeah.
There's no way. What teacher did you have?
I don't know.
Just because, always behind a mountain. Always rises from behind a mountain.
Well, here's the thing, because I think they're like, oh, yeah, these guys are going to live in Lebanon their whole life. Or like, we have a huge mountain chain.
Okay.
Like, you know, a half-hour drive away. It's like, it always rises by the mountains.
Fair enough, then.
Somebody probably still had it in their minds. Like, I am now in the Netherlands. There are literally no mountains here. What am I supposed to do?
Well, whatever.
That aside.
Yeah, we have an interesting match. It's going to be Villa again.
Yes.
And it looks like we'll have Liquid on defense, Red DevilS on attack. So let's
Community vote.
bring up that community vote.
Hopefully.
And hey, it's working.
Oh my god. You guys are pretty harsh, let's be honest.
You're more vicious than we are. We were in that last match.
We were pretty.
That's saying something. That's really that's lopsided as all heck. All right, 90%. You don't see those very often for Liquid. I mean, for anybody.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say. You don't see 90%. Period.
Yeah, I think this is all trying to rally the troops for Liquid, right?
I mean,
they have a big documentary coming up with Zig in it.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's be honest.
Right?
Let's take a step back here. Let's be honest. And if Liquid lose this match, it'd be very surprising.
Yes.
That's the end of that. Red DevilS have not been having a great season so far.
Yeah.
They really haven't. Just in general, and Liquid on the other hand have been having a fantastic season. They only lost the one match the first play day of the season, and since then they have not dropped a single one. So. Yeah, I mean, Liquid are looking strong. Red DevilS, not so much.
Even then, for Liquid, you know, you can argue, well, they lost 7-5 to Immortals on Consulate.
It was also the first play day of LATAM, which was the weirdest day.
Yeah, the weirdest day we've ever seen. So
it was the only play day that was in 2018.
Yes.
And it was just, it was huge. It was just strange for everyone across the board. We saw a lot of odd results in that day. We didn't see any other regions play in the proximity of that match because we had the postponement.
Yeah, we had EU that was scheduled to be live the next day, and European players were like, nope. And
yeah, it was a weird day. But we actually have the match ready. So we're going to be going straight on into Villa for the second time today. Liquid versus Red DevilS to end out this evening.
I'll be honest with you, Italy does feel pretty comfy in Toscana in this sort of way. Maybe one day.
I've never been. You know, it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those places that I personally have not been to.
Oh,
but
you're from California.
Well,
you will love Italy.
Yeah, California. Well, the Bay Area specifically, one of the other places. I think it's the only other place in the Western Hemisphere that has the Mediterranean climate. Yeah, other than the Mediterranean.
Look,
so that's cool.
Olive oil is aplenty. Food is great. People are nice. I like it.
Yeah.
We'll hope. Oh, somebody's. It's somebody's birthday. I don't know who it is.
Is it?
Yeah, they're like.
Oh, that's right, because you speak a lick of Portuguese, eh?
They're Latin based. You know, you speak one, you speak them all.
Right. How many languages do you speak?
Only 3.
Only 3. Only 3, he says.
Yeah, but again, Latin languages, they kind of look very similar. Anyways, Monty, Habana, Mira, and you know, my multilinguals have netted me 1 free can of soda my entire life. So it's totally worth
Look at that.
the thousands of hours I've spent learning all these languages. There you go, Valkyrie. Our last band, nothing too surprising.
Yeah, standard stuff going on here. The Habana being banned is a little bit surprising to me, but at the same time, if you're going to get rid of hard breacher, it may as well be the Habana. Actually, it's not surprising now that I think about it, because Habana is much better at dealing with the impact tricking that is also prevalent on Villa, whereas Thermite, it's a little bit more difficult. And you can put the Thermite charges on the floor, but that can be countered by your opponent opening up that floor ahead of time.
Yeah, usually that's going to be set up. More often than not, the best way to do things is just to crouch Right.
And there's 2 shotguns, as you can see here on Liquid, in the mute and the smoke. At least very likely 2 shotguns there in those SAS operators. And it's probable that they're going to open up that floor inside a study, so you can't do that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, oh well, okay, at least one, and you got the pistol shotgun for 6. You got the options on Liquid is all I'm saying here.
Yeah.
And definitely, probably gonna open up that floor in the study. We'll see though. Maybe they won't. Maybe the Thermite's gonna be able to place the Thermite a little bit easier.
Yeah, again, to counter those impact tricks, the easiest way is to crouch. But the biggest problem with this site, especially if you're trying to enter from that from the reading room, is the fact that there's 2 angles for you to watch for. So an impact from one side to the other will destroy your charge, even if it is crouched, just because of the arc of the impact grenades. And this is why you see Smoke here, Sexy Cake bringing his impact grenades, and he's the only one bringing those, as there's a distinct lack of a Legion, which we've seen quite a bit of. But there you go. We'll go with the start here at Red Devils, and guess what? They are bringing the IQ. And it's always fun to see how IQ players are able to maneuver around the map and really snipe that utility here and there.
So, with a 90% community vote, you expect Liquid to really rack up the rounds on this defensive half, and that makes sense, aside from the community vote, just because it's Villa, and this is a defense-sided map. Also, Liquid is the favorite team going into this, and from a professional opinion, not just a poll. So, as long as Liquid doesn't make any too many egregious mistakes, it's probable that they'll be able to take this. So far, it's just been a little bit of a game of cat and mouse in terms of the utility, the Evil Eye, lifelines, back and forth here, trying to see who can keep themselves ahead of the game.
Yeah, nothing too surprising. It destroys the Evil Eye now that is set in the reading room. Not sure why he opened fire first, but there you go. At least you understand, hey, they got a call, so they know where he is. It's okay. He wants to push somebody back, and Nesk will find the kill on Velvet, eliminating the IQ. So we won't be seeing any of those plays. Hollow will see the player downstairs, I believe.
Reloading, cover me!
The Dokkaebi, actually. It's just opening things up to try and destroy barbed wire, and Gohan will maneuver himself and putting him below on the stairs. Midi will find one on Palu, and there you go, at least finishing off one of those players in Team Liquid to equalize the numbers.
The fact that Lucifer was able to survive for as long as he did on those main stairs was honestly surprising. And he eventually did get shut down, yes, but he took a lot of damage off of Midi in the process, or Mighty actually, so pardon me. So that's going to put, right now, Red Devils in a tricky spot, and Liquid are looking to hold this out pretty easily. They still have plenty of utility to do just that.
Gohan, lurking around the red stairs, can definitely come up behind his opponents of Red Devils. He had taken quite a bit of damage early on, so be careful. At least he was able to finish off the before. You hear the thermite charge going off, and will indeed destroy the entrance from the study into the bar. Just trying to find the angle on the player from below. Damage done to Nesk, and they'll drop him on the floor and take him out. A great bit of play here from the Buck. But who's coming up from the side? It's Gohan, not alive for too long now. The Buck, 3K. All down from Red Devils. Sexy Cake rushing in through the smoke. He'll take so much damage from the side. And leave it all up to Zig. 8 seconds left on the clock. He's going to spray in the back of the bar and unable to find the kill on Brown in the back. VNX will finish off Sexy Cake as Zig will move in through the bar. Wire Midi to take him out. The 4K in the very first round for the Buck.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Hassan, but I don't believe that bar is penetrable. I think it's got a metal plate behind it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, weird that he even went for that spray, but overall, yeah, a great round there from Mighty, managing to get that 4K, if you're not mistaken.
Yeah, I would like to give a shout out here to Mr. SM Poi, aka Spy, who did indeed test before I got home, so he's faster than me. We were saying about the Maestro cameras. If Evil Eye is set on a glass surface, on a window, and you break the glass, it will break the Evil Eye, and we were indeed correct, Michael. So, yeah. There you go.
Go figure.
Today you learned. Just in case, you know, again, we don't want to assume that things are kind of known by everyone. So, if you didn't know, now you do. Use it to your advantage in your own games, right? Learn something new every day. So,
you know, it's just
what?
just so weird to me. I mean, we saw an Evil Eye or bulletproof camera in the last match placed on glass at least 4 times.
Yeah. Hey man, it's a good thing we're not pros. This will all be done.
I mean, it's the little things, right? It really doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, it's very small, and it probably isn't going to change much, if anything. Still though. Anyway, setup here from Liquid again, second time around on AVG, and well, they've well established themselves, but last time they did the same and they were still unsuccessful in their hold, so definitely some correction that needs to be made here from Liquid to win this.
And I think the Echo is a great change here for Liquid. Zig's already an excellent Echo player, but you add on top of that the fact that he's able to disrupt Red Devils, who were just wandered into the site and were able to go for the plant. Team Liquid that is, had control of the vault for the entirety of that round. And had Zig been on the Echo instead of the Maestro, it would have helped him a lot. Now, what some teams would do is just, you know, throw the Maestro away, but in this case, both the Maestro and the Echo are available. So, not surprising, Team Liquid will utilize both bits of utility and forego the Pulse that was ineffective from Gohan in the previous round, putting him on the Maestro for round 2.
Slow going here for Red Devils. Going for another study attack, though. And you're going to start opening up from below. That's Mighty. Again, on that buck. Doing so much work for his team. He's going to see some targets, but unable to dish out any damage as of yet. Potentially, Zig could be exposed here. We don't know where he's exactly playing. Mighty is going to hit a grenade onto Sexy Cake, though. So there you go. That's the smoke gone. What did I miss?
The Jaeger holding an ADS, trying to shoot.
Oh, the visual bug?
Yeah, that's always hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm 12 on the inside. Bro,
So,
will open up the wall.
Yeah, again. So we see the full success here, and you see Mighty is going to be opening up by bar. So it's a complete focus here on the bar take. That's going to be A.
It's a good thing from Red Devils to isolate the smoke first, take him out, so then he cannot use his impact to destroy that thermite charge. And Paulo at least will be able to find the kill on VNX. He'll reload his ADS as he moves back into 90, and there's nobody on the other end of the hall.
He's got a good position here, and he can really assist his team. Inside a gun vault, though, Mighty trying to do some damage, but he will actually be the one receiving damage as he opens up these angles. On very low HP, it's going to be hard for him to do anything left, or anything more in this round. See, Paul Lucifer trying to challenge the IQ. That's Velvet at the end of the hallway by 90. Unable to actually win any of those fights either way, and it's going to be a mostly, I think, just an entire focus into the A bomb site. That's it.
There's a Maestro camera right on that wall that should give information to Zig here, and you already hear it being used. MP5 in hand here as Velvet will get the kill.
Seconds remaining.
And Paulo trying to move in from the back as one yokai has already been expended. That's 2 shots. Paulo will go down. They'll deny the diffuser plant. The thermite, but Zig is spotted in the back, and that should be more than enough time to get the diffuser down. He'll take a lot of damage. The Maestro on the side, unable to help him, but there you go. Gohan will find one. Velvet again. Wow, that's at least a 3K there on the IQ, if not more. Does a ton of damage with the command. Well done. Red Devils, just checklist. Go in with the buck, get the kill on the smoke. Once that's done, no impact tricking available. You know what? Thermite comes in, opens up the wall, and now we set up. Sometimes we have smoke, sometimes we don't. Doesn't matter. We have someone holding the hallway, and then the other 3 are just protecting the thermite who runs in for the diffuser plant. Excellent play.
So we're going to be going to Trophy as Liquid seem incapable of defending AVG. Good to see them finally get wise to that fact and make an adjustment, more than just a few operators being changed over.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
All right, what's the setup going to be here? Again, you bring the dock. Usually that's not just, for the ACOG and the healing, but also to have the bulletproof camera. So where will Zig set up his Evil Eye? He's already set up one. I believe that's one at the back by the bed. We've seen it in the previous matchup. But basically, so I wonder if this will be the case. Again, there you go. Velvet was, did Indeed put up the 3 kills on the board in the previous round on the AQ.
10
And
seconds
Zig
to go.
just deploying all the barbed wire, going in for drones.
5 seconds.
Really slow early on and setting up a lot of barricades here. Team Liquid want to make sure that their flank is as secure as humanly possible.
Attackers must locate
Makes sense
and
considering how much pressure we've seen applied from this flank in the previous match.
Okay. I wonder where you ripped them off and then put them back in.
Okay, it looks like he was just trying to get to the other side of it. He did get to the other side of it.
Why did the dock rip up the barricade to get on the other side?
Yeah, I guess. It could be Gohan on a deep roam using those signal disruptors to try and catch those drones and allow for him to roam a little bit easier. Odd placement from the signal disruptors, but also going to make it a little bit harder to find him no matter what.
Yeah, there we go. That's the position we were talking about before. And he's using this to try and zap players on the other side. No, the drone. There you go. He'll find it, taken down. We talk about the drone economy, and it's definitely being hampered. He'll find one more. Zig, the ultimate anti-drone machine.
He's doing a really good job with these Evil Eyes, you gotta say. And he's got some good positions here. One over by Study, it looked like, and that's an interesting spot. You can see Phoenix looking for the Evil Eye. Has no idea where it is, though. And, oh, that's hard to watch.
It's a pretty standard position, to be honest. But
bomb has been
there you go. The
located.
Sofa is going to spot him and instantly impact that Evil Eye and finally take it out. But already, a lot of drones being destroyed. And it's a shame we can't see the actual drone economy in movement. But, yeah, let's just say their price has shot up in stock.
Yeah, it's certainly a huge loss for the attackers. Velvet is going to take out Sexy Cake, though. It's by Master Bedroom, or Master Bathroom, rather, as it looks like Sexy was actually attempting to push into Velvet. Ended up losing that fight. That's really not what you want to see from Sexy Cake, and not what you want to see from Gohan either, as he does the same thing, and it costs him his life to Abaru this time.
Palu still set up in the astronomy room, and oh man, that's not how you reset, by the way.
A 2K for Abaru, one onto the enemy, one onto his team, and that's going to put Liquid back in this, all things considered. I mean, they were pretty much counted out in a 5 versus 3, but now, with 45 seconds left to go, there's definitely a chance for Liquid to hold.
Yeah, definitely all defense advantage. Here you see one player on the outside, repelling by the window on astronomy. Not pushed in just yet. A beautiful timing there with the grenade. Bro will move in and take down Zig. Palu and Nesk, last two alive. A diffuser should be set, but no! Abrao is going to get shot down here on the thermite. Nesk will heal himself up as he allows Palu to help him. On the side, gets shot by VNX as Nesk will find one more. 2 versus 1. It's definitely possible here. He'll find one kill. Has to go for the reload. 1v1 situation.
Attackers are
Up to
activating
Vitz
diffuser.
and Nesk to see who wins this duel. A Fate Stim Pistol unused, but Vitz knows exactly where the dock is going to come from. He comes off the angle. Nesk! He wins it! So much health left and beautiful play. The headshot to take down the Dokkaebi. Diffuser's going to get taken out, and Liquid will secure their very first round off of a magnificent clutch.
You talk about top clutch players, and Nesk is one of those. Managing to win that round against all odds, that QE there at the end, you know, a lot of people will point a finger at it as a problem, and sure, maybe it is, but you got to use whatever advantage is available to you, and Nesk certainly did in that round. I honestly expected him to crouch walk into the spray from the SMG-12 and lose the round, but not the case. So good job, Nesk. Excellent clutch there.
Very well done. Again, that QE is hard to master, but once you get it done, oh man, you know that your opponent's going to be there. He's going to be hiding behind the bomb, and it's a quick peek to take him out. So, Liquid now will move on down dining room and kitchen as they kind of realize that Games Room is not really Games Room and Aviator, as you would say, AVG.
It's not their forte.
It's not their forte, indeed. So here they will still require some sort of hold on the top floor, but should be easier to hold if you can deny full bedroom take from those attackers, those pesky attackers. But we saw in the previous matchup that quick peeks here to fire into laundry is not something you really should be doing without any information. Going in blind is not a good spot.
So, setup overall here from Liquid. They brought the castle, which is quite interesting. Want to know where those barricades are going to end up. It's actually going to be playing on the smoke. It's pretty standard. There you go. Really early on, looks like a mute jammer being destroyed from above, I'm guessing. It was Gohan probably to get that mute jammer, so it looks like he shot his own. That does happen, I guess, or somebody shot it, that's for sure, and it was likely from above. And a little bit of utility loss, but not the end of the world. Red Devils look to be setting up to come in from the east primarily. Maybe a vertical push here. All considering the current location of VNX, that would make the most sense. Prep windows are going to prompt a Claymore to come out here from VNX. Sensible. Try and cover that run out. He is also going to be repelling, looks like, to try and put pressure onto the storage room, which is, it makes sense if you're going to come from the basement, because if you come up from those basement stairs into storage, if there's no one actually in storage room, then you can get some really good action into the site as an attacker.
And Gohan setting up more angles for him to fight any players downstairs. Window getting taken down here by VNX as he attempts to peek into the pantry, but it's a difficult spot to go through.
Located by attackers.
Oh, that's a close angle to try and use. Nobody's going to be watching that. In the meantime, though, Midi will get one, but it's Paulo to refrag, and a quick next one from Vit. They just kind of walk into the China room, and Vit will find one more with a drop from Nesk. Ineffective. Zig fairly low on health. He'll go for the impact on the side as he'll find the side, and Vich will go down. Gohan and Zig do here equal health to the two remaining players of Red Devils, the IQ and the Zofia. The 2v2 situation. Zig sets himself close in the dining room, unsure of the position of the last two players from Red Devils. Look at that diffuser set neatly in between the Team Liquid players, and they're just going to have to watch it.
Slow going here, but patience is going to be a virtue for Liquid, certainly. Velvet has given away his position in the main hallway, and you can see Gohan has adjusted accordingly. Obviously, Gohan is likely to be pre-fired in this spot, though. So close to that diffuser, which is down. VNX using his utility as lifeline to the best of his ability. Unsure where either of these defenders are. Gohan gives away his position, and he's got full HP out of that first engagement. That is huge. VNX with 25 down, and still has plenty of time. But he's stuck in a crossfire, whether he knows it or not. Goes for a plant. Looks like he's sticking it. Trying to bait out these defenders, and he will be successful to an extent. The C4 does a little bit of damage, but not enough to get the kill. VNX now on a bullet's worth of HP. He will take down Zig, though, and reassesses this onto Gohan. Gohan needed to get aggressive, but he didn't. He lingered, and now is stuck in a very tense 1v1. Whether he knows it or not, he has the HP advantage. Good position here from VNX, though, to lock it out. Position given away. Shotgun comes out. Gohan can read this a little bit better, but he keeps challenging the same angle. He keeps going for it, unable to land any damage onto VNX until just now. Gohan wins it out. Team Liquid take the round. Patience for Gohan working out.
He had 2 more shotgun shells left. The fact that the IQ did not check that side, honestly, that lost the whole round right then and there, but you can't really blame her. The fact that that doorway into the cellar stairs was closed off, you don't expect any players sitting there. And it caught him off guard. It was masterfully played there by Gohan.
I mean, I gotta be honest, the rotation was open, and other team Red Devils players were getting kills from people dropping there earlier. So, I mean, I'm surprised the call didn't come out, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, he didn't expect anyone there, and it did end up costing Red Devils. So a little bit of misplay there from Velvet, I believe it was. Who will be going back to that IQ. Just picking off of the glass, and that might have been a good bait there as we have a Bandit 6-picking into a Jaeger, but both of those are going to suffer from an IQ either way, so
Need to locate and
worth
defuse
noting.
bombs.
Liquid will be going to AVG one more time, and I don't know. We've only seen Liquid lose on AVG thus far.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a tricky one for them to hold out.
All right. What's the change here? Gohan and Nesk. It's the big one. Nesk realizes, okay, how are we losing every single round here? We're losing it because we're losing Sexy Cake. we're having manpower loss early on in the round, and it's not allowing us to also use those impact grenades to deal with the thermite. So what does Nest do?
5 seconds
Gets
left
put
before
on the
insertion.
Vigil. So he's going to try to hunt down that Buck before the Buck can do much damage to his opponents above him as he walks in, you know, downstairs and tries to buck open the floorboard here in the bar. Gohan in the meantime also has extra impact grenades to use just in case that plan gets foiled, because every single time, the instant the walls open into the bar, the round is pretty much done for Liquid.
So here's the tricky thing. You've brought the Vigil, but there's an IQ in play. And as you can see, Red Devils are committing heavily to that downstairs clear. So the IQ will be calling out the exact position of the Vigil should he use his ability, and that's going to make for an easy kill on the side of Mighty. Along with the Dokkaebi, this is really good information, but oh no, Mighty walks into a crossfire. It's a bait from Liquid, and Lucifer will take down Mighty. Excellent kill there. Buck gone now, soft destruction eliminated, and it's going to be a much easier hold for Liquid. This could be their first AVG win.
That's job's done.
Essentially. Yeah.
And it's essentially, basically. That's all you needed to do there, and if Paulo can get one more, that'll be the extra. No damage done onto Dokkaebi. As I say, that gets instantly shot down by Sexy Cake. Nesk with one more. What a beautiful angle, actually, being played from the bar. Tiny angle. Now leaves only a Brow alive, and whew, nice shot to flick onto Palu, but it's going to get detected. They know where he is, and Team Liquid will be possibly converging on the location of a Brow unless they just leave him to death. We'll have to walk into the pool table and the bar. Okay. There you go.
Well,
Sexy Cake.
That's a trade-off.
It's completely fine.
Yeah.
All that matters is W.
Yeah. So here we go. Liquid taking their first AVG hold, and they get to go back to Trophy now for their final defense. And well, it looks like they're going to be ending at 4-2 if they manage to take this one, and considering the last time Red Devils attacked onto Trophy, it's probable that Liquid will take it.
Yep. And Trophy was not successful at all, really, for Red Devils. Liquid, I really have to hand it to Team Liquid. Previous round, they realized what the problem was and adapted to it. Like, hey, maybe we're turtling a bit too much. Let's maneuver around and use that wonderful bait between the Vigil and the Jaeger to get 2 kills off of it. Good spot.
Yeah, the first round, what we saw from Liquid, first time they defended AVG, we saw them have too many anchors and not enough presence to deny the plant. The second round, they brought an Echo to try and mitigate that, and it didn't work out either because they still didn't have any way to deny the plant. And this round, they stopped the whole problem at its core, which was the soft destruction from below. So yeah, it's a good job. Now they're going to be going to Trophy, and last time we saw Liquid in Trophy, they were successful, but it was thanks to a clutch from Nesk, and that's how they managed to win this one out. Nesk had to clutch because Liquid was playing a little bit too aggressively and gave away a lot of picks to Red Devils. We'll see if that happens again.
5 seconds left before
All right, set up again, pretty standard from Team Liquid, having all their rotation holds.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse.
They also have, between Nesk and Zig, 3 cameras that can see through smokes. So in this case, they'll be able to deal with Red Devils bringing the Dokkaebi on their end. Supposedly, the Maestro of Zig has it's a couple ADS being set in the back to protect Astronomy, so it's going to be a piece of the stronghold here. But how do you deal with all of that? You run an IQ, and Velvet in the meantime is going to try to hunt all of that equipment down. And you can obviously shoot through all these soft surfaces, not the hard walls or the indestructible ones. He spots the 2 ADSs on the side and tries to strafe his way in and take him out.
It's going to be a challenge here, of course. It's a close window to the side, but he doesn't actually need to take any fights. More just look for utility and take that out. Honestly, kind of lingering a little bit there on his job, but I'm sure he'll get around to it. Wary of giving away a pick. When you're on the last round of the first half and you face losing it, the 4-2, you really do want to do everything you can and around and not risk yourself unnecessarily. So looks like Red Devil's getting a little cautious here.
Yeah, getting that 4th round of the board for Team Liquid on the defense will definitely make their attack much, much easier.
Yeah.
So only need to get those 3 attacking rounds on the board. And Red Devils were baited in by very efficient defensive play from Liquid. See what happens here in the bedroom as Red Devils are taking their time, really. They can vault in and test the bedroom ASAP, but there's no real roam play from the Red Devil, from the defensive Liquid, and Midi on the Buck has not been able to do anything just yet.
Yeah, the list of accomplishments so far for Red Devils is getting that Buck underneath. And you're right, he hasn't really accomplished anything downstairs. Considering we're on the last minute, this engagement going VNX's way is going to be really important. Because if it had gone the other way, then this probably would have been a done deal in Liquid's favor.
Yeah, now flank watch is going to be very complicated for Team Liquid, especially losing Zig. Good shot from VNX, and that's all off of the fact that, you know what, they just lost that flank. Everybody from Liquid rotates into Astronomy to try to fight from here, and even the AQ being spotted, Sexy Cake will have to stop her. Not sure why you take that peek. That position is completely in the advantage of the IQ, and guess what Nest is going to do? The same thing. Midi will come in from below, take him out. There was a Maestro camera as well that was set up in the bathroom as Abrao finishes off Gohan. You see that Maestro camera? They had tabs on the IQ.
That has to be one of the sloppiest rounds we've seen today from Liquid. Not just from Liquid as a team, just in total.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was everything that could have gone wrong, going wrong. So, oof, that was a tough one to watch on Liquid's side. And Red Devils took full advantage. Really can't fault them for that, and there's not much else to say, to be honest. Aviator Room Games. Gonna be the next one, AVG. But it'll be in the second half, which means that we'll have Red Devils this time on defense. They're doing the old Frost 6-pick. So you bring Frost, you 6-pick off of Frost, because Frost isn't amazingly useful, and it forces Team Liquid to keep looking at their feet until they know that you don't have a Frost.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Alrighty.
That's what you do when you don't have anything to 6-pick into.
Yep.
You just try to trip up your opponent. Ooh, a Blackbeard being brought here by Sexy Cake.
Just gonna say. So, how do they decide to run this? Now, usually when you have a Blackbeard, keeping in mind that the Habana is man in this situation, is that you can use him to rappel up to the wall by 90, or to the window by 90, and shut down any players that are playing in there. It's fairly easy to basically annihilate a ton of the roaming from the defenders, if it does exist, and push them into the two sites. And we saw what happened with Liquid when they were boxed into Aviator Game Room. They couldn't really go anywhere. And I am not sure about that destroyed wall into the vault.
It's a dangerous...
I will question that.
Yeah, it's a dangerous play from Red Devils, but it could work.
That's an X for doubt.
Hmm?
That's an X for doubt.
Press X for doubts. Yeah, I never played that game.
I actually played just a tiny bit of it and then it got a bit too...
Repetitive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the facial expressions are fairly nice. That aside.
I heard it was, yeah, when it first came out, it was really advanced.
It's like some of the first stuff, like facial animation that had been done at that point in time. And Gohan opening up the entryway here into the reading room, nothing really out of the ordinary. You see Abrao just really careful of what he does here, because that window being open, they really have to have multiple angles to deal with any player that peeks through it, let alone the Blackbeard if Sexy Cake wishes to do so.
Yeah, Blackbeard's probably the best operator to deal with the strategy that Red Devils is putting forward. If you put Sexy Cake on that window and he just holds the angle, then oh no, you've probably lost, you know, the backbone of your defense if you're Red Devils. That's tricky. That's tricky. We'll see how Red Devils choose to handle it, and we'll see if Sexy Cake even goes for it. Doesn't look like he's going to commit himself fully, so lucky Red Devils.
Lucky Devils.
Yeah.
So Velvet's still in the hallway, uncontested.
Oh, he will.
Oh.
He's come back.
It's a much better position to play in from the top, but Nesk is going to get shot down, so no Ash available. Just sitting outside next to Zig on the Thermite, waiting for information. At least that's only one loss for Liquid, and not two in that situation, but still, not a great spot to be in early on, losing the Ash with the amount of soft destruction that is basically given to you by Red Devils.
Mighty's going to take down Palucifer. There you go. Red Devils, two-man advantage.
Yeah, it's pretty darn huge. The IQ and the Ash taken away. We'll have to rely on the Blackbeard, but damage done to Gohan VNX at half health and shot down. There you go. Gohan will find him. 4v3, trying to equalize numbers as soon and as quickly as possible, but it's got to be an uphill battle for Team Liquid. We'll see if they can move their way through this. Checking for any cameras or any yokai drones that have been set up by the DevilS. It's safe to assume that those peaks by MIDI were not solely motivated by skill, but also by the yokai itself, or by game sense, to say the least.
Mighty holding this angle, and he's going to lose it to Gohan. What a peek there from the sledge. And a second one for Gohan. Absolutely insane gunplay there, and managing to put those kills on the board. Sexy Cake will take down Abreu, as well as Vitz onto Sexy, and it's just Zig to lock it out. What looked to be a Red Devils round was a complete turnaround for Liquid, thanks to fragging potential.
And maybe if they didn't, you know, leave that wall soft.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, opening up that vault wall, I mean, I remember when Villa was still new and people were like, hey, you know what we could do?
What?
We could open the vault wall and we could hold 90. And it was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. They're like, oh, what about the window? Oh, we just put a castle barricade on there. And yeah, we went from people trying to open the wall to putting a castle barricade on the window to nobody doing that because it never worked. And this time we didn't even see the castle barricade on the window. So I really don't know what the thought process was there for Red Devils, but they're gonna go to trophy now.
All right, 4-3 advantage for Team Liquid still.
Attackers
Second
need to
round
locate
here
and
on
defuse
the
bombs.
attacking side for Team Liquid, as the defensive Red Devils will go the way of statuary and trophy. Start off with standard reinforcements, and the Devils are bringing a similar lineup to before, but what do they need? They need something to block off the hard wall, and they're gonna have a bandit to do that job. They also have a smoke. I'm not sure if the smoke is bringing any impact grenades in this situation, possibly only the Legion, which is completely fine. Team Liquid on their side are going with the Dokkaebi again,
10 seconds
but
remaining.
no Blackbeard.
Mighty's really been fragging out there, you can see, with 10 kills. Gohan was the response in the previous round. A lot of the matches today have really just come down to frags, if we're being honest. I mean, that last round was a good example. Liquid were out of that round tactically. And yeah, the wall into Vault was open. But Liquid honestly had lost at that point. But then, oh hey, Gohan fragging out, and they're back in it. You know, it does happen. It does happen. Anyway, Liquid going to be clearing, looks like, the roamers horizontally from the south side, and they could definitely do some massive work from here, but it doesn't look like there are many horizontal roamers right now. Probably VNX there by 90, but that's pretty much the extent of it, looks like.
Yeah, and we saw the amount of damage that the attackers can inflict on the defense. The instant the flank watch is taken out on this site specifically. You know, you're relying on your anchors, the Echo, the Maestro. Well, suddenly their side is completely clear if you shut down one or two players, in this case VNX and possibly the Legion there. That's exactly what Ness is going to try to do early on as he breaks open the wall and walks into Games Room, at least trying to put pressure on the roamers. Nobody in there, as these players have already evac'd the wall, still left soft here, but it'll allow Nesk to jump on in, take control 90. Possibly a bait being set up by Red Devils.
Yeah, the reason that the roamers have fallen back, or the singular roamer in VNX, is that they have wasted plenty of time. I mean, we're down to the halfway mark here. VNX didn't need to linger any longer than he already had, so good job to him holding that out. You can see the rest of Liquid working their way towards site, but still slow. Looks like it's going to be a push from the south, not just a roam clear. They've also got some attackers coming over by Master, but they don't have a whole lot to work with on the Master side, especially in terms of time as we hit that final minute.
Yep. Nesk will use his second breaching charge, still checking for any potential C4 players downstairs. It's still a bit creepy for Team Liquid to move up and not be contested. But firing from the IQ in the back, and Palu will remain alive against Smitty in this situation. It's odd that the Echo is taking the gunfight so close up, but, or, you know, on the angle, that is. But he will still remain alive and thus keep the Yokais in play. Palu taking half damage there, the MP5, and he's gonna keep peeking again, and he'll win this one out. Take down Mitty, a huge loss for the Red Devils. So force VNX to play the role here. Flash is being put right into him. Palu will move in uncontested as smoke will be thrown in to the A site. Nesk to contest on the opposite end by Trophy, at least keep his opponents on their toes. VNX cannot connect, but Abrao will. Nesk will find one on the Vitz, and Abrao and VNX will get one each. The work of the Maestro here is just sprays in. Palu will get one, get down ASAP. Sexy Cake last alive, and he'll actually get that diffuser down. He's gonna get pushed, but he's already evac'd here. He's playing the SMG-12 up in the master bedroom. Now, the decision is, how do Red Devils push through this? SMG-12 in hand, they'll have to watch this angle. And can he stop him? Yes, he can. Pulls out the rifle, sprays in, but no! Is VNX to win it all out on the Bandit. Nitro Cell not even needed, and that was the last round in the magazine of the MP7. Red Devils tied up 4-4.
Jeez.
Defenders win.
What a weird round. I mean, it all came down to another brawl. And in the end, Sexy Cake managed to get the diffuser down, and then it still went the way of Red Devils. I am surprised by many things there. Most notably, of course, Sexy Cake getting the plant without being contested. That's a pretty big deal. I'm sure that had something to do with the phone call, distracting the remaining two defenders, and maybe obscuring the sound that was the planting tic-tac. So, I don't know. Red Devils allowing for that plant to happen was a pretty bad mistake, but overall, winning out in the brawl, having that one-man advantage was the reason that Red Devils were able to win the round. So good job to them holding on to Trophy. They're going to go back to AVG for another attempt.
All right, see if this works out here. This is getting precariously close, I have to say. It's starting to look a lot like our previous matchup. We got close to a time.
No, Sexy Cake came so close to holding on to that diffuser plant, man. It's a shame that he didn't fully commit to whatever he was trying to do. He was trying to do two different things. First thing he tried to do was peek the angle. Hey, he broke the window. Was peek the angle fully. If he had peeked the angle fully and challenged and won the fight against the Bandit, then it might have been winnable. Second thing he tried to do, because he lost the fight after he peeked, was he tried to deny the person on the diffuser from disabling it. And that would have been okay too if he had fully committed to that, if he had sprint across instead of taking so much damage in the transition. But he didn't commit fully to either of them, and he messed up on both of them, and because of that he lost the engagement.
Yeah, he kind of got a bit overwhelmed with the amount of things he needed to look at and play in that situation.
Happens.
Yep, it does. It happens to the best of us, and in that case, Sexy Cake, definitely one of the best players on Liquid, and one of the best players in the entirety of the region, to be honest.
Best pros in the world. If we're talking about it,
100%.
Yeah, if we're looking at it like every pro player is one of the best players in the world, all things considered.
Yep. That's why they're pros.
Lucifer pushing his way in. The master bathroom. It's going to be a roam clear here. Nice and easy. Claymore's going to go down, but it's not going to be perfect. I mean, you can't really hold down that flank, really.
Yeah.
It's too difficult on Villa to completely isolate a flank, and so you do your best, but yeah, not going to be ideal.
We'll see if the best is yet to come. Here, it's another great song, by the way. People that know the Scorpions. But in the meantime, playing the Echo yet again. He's had a decent chunk of success on the operator. Not in the previous round, unfortunately, falling to Palu, but at least was able to delay things. And I want to say this. So far, I think in this entire playday, moral of the story is manage your time correctly.
Yeah, not one team has.
Yep.
Been some of the slowest rounds I've seen in a long time. So, yeah, it's a little bit weird. Velvet trying to challenge on 90, and he goes for the pre-fire, but does not land any shots on his opponent.
Yeah, smoke that being thrown into the window as more damage will be done here to, at least, I believe Nesk's still on the outside. Gohan is down on the floor as Palu will find a kill, taking down Midi. Yep, Gohan is on his own. Nesk will run into a goo mine as Velvet will come in from the side, and he's actually going to be pushed back, unsure of where his opponents are. The soft wall again. We'll see if this time it will work. Smoke grenade here to isolate any entrances from the main hallway. Velvet will get one. Vitz for the second, and Velvet the second on Apollo as he goes up the stairs. Zick to watch on rotations, but this time it's that destroyed wall to run the way of Red Devils. Sexy trying to peek in. He'll use the smoke to his advantage. He actually gets one kill off of it. Gets the second one as well. It'll turn it into a 2v1. 18 seconds left on the clock, and Sexy Cake is out for revenge for the previous round. 15 seconds on the clock, shotgun in hand. He's gonna have to deal with the two players here who find one kill. Can he get the second one? Low on health here, the Legion. 13 rounds still left for Sexy Cake, but Velvet turns around and finds the kill. The Legion to take it. Again, it all devolves into barbaric butchery.
Sexy Cake panicked a little bit there towards the end, as you saw. When he saw the Legion, he freaked out a little bit more than was necessary, but it was a nice try all the same. Gotta give him props for the attempt. So, Red Devils regain that lead, and they will be putting us... Actually, correction, that is the first time that they will have a lead in this match. So, they'll be bringing us to Kitchen, and we're inches away from match point. For the team that had, if I'm not mistaken, about 6% of the community vote. It was 90% for Liquid.
Yeah, 4% tie.
Was it 4% tie? Oh, okay, then. There you go. So, yeah.
5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
All right, then.
So far, you definitely need to remember the name of Red Devils, because they've been really
apparently
forcing Team Liquid down. I mean, now they'll actually go on a site that might go easier for Team Liquid, but notice one thing on Liquid's side: a lack of distinct soft breach for specifically vertical play.
Yeah, they don't have a buck. They don't have a sledge. It's going to be a struggle, that's for sure. They got the Ash. That's the pretty much that's the extent of it. There might be some breaching charges on that Ash or somewhere else, but it's not going to be as much as you would hope. Clearly, though, Red Devils are going to be focusing on holding from above. We've seen this strategy from other teams in the past, even just today. So, not surprising to see it be brought out here by Red Devils. I believe we saw it actually from Liquid when they went to Kitchen. A spawn peek here by Velvet, but it will not take out Nesk as he manages to skirt his way around and establish a newer angle.
At least to keep himself safe early on here in the round. You definitely don't want to give Red Devils the advantage to put themselves on a minimum of a tie, which would definitely be problematic for Liquid, because they are trying to take hold of the top position in Latin America and push themselves further and further. Remember, we are in the 6th playdate of LATAM, the very final matchup. There's only one more playdate before we head to Invitational, basically the half. What's next week? So you better be setting up for a great second half by collecting as many points, basically, as possible. Gohan will be running the Twitch here, a signature operator for this player. At least he'll detect the Legion of Velvet playing in the back. Be forced away from the astronomy stairs. He'll fire in and find Palu. Again, a great shot from Velvet, and that's a great lead for Red Devils.
Struggle there for Paul Lucifer, and the IQ being taken out means a lot of utility defender side will be left unscathed. There is still the Twitch, though, from Gohan, so I suppose there's a little bit of hope. Liquid has also cleared out the top floor to the extent that they really needed, and that's going to be really good control in the favor of Liquid.
And Nesk moving in, thinking he has control of Master Bedroom, but so far no information really for Liquid. One thing distinctly absent for Liquid is that in the past we used to see the rest of the team droning Nesk in on basically the being the tip of the spear, and that is sadly lacking for Liquid.
It's definitely going to cause a lot more entry deaths, and that's probably what we saw with Paul Lucifer. He didn't have full information on Velvet. He knew he was in Astro, but he just didn't have full information. Mighty going to be challenging an angle here onto the Twitch of Gohan and trying to win it. He will be unsuccessful. What a shot from Gohan. Really should have lost that one, but he managed to take it in his favor. Fitz will also be down in sight, and here we go, Liquid in a good position. Velvet's still in play, though, and he's been doing some excellent work. And Abru's going to take one before he gets eliminated. Velvet, though, the last one alive, able to take out Zig, put himself in a 1-on-2. Nesk versus Gohan, or Nesk and Gohan versus Velvet, pardon me. Diffuser being planted by Nesk. Gohan on the cover. He knows the position of Velvet, and he will win the fight. Gohan, really the hero of that round.
No question about it. The Twitch, just diving into the bicycle room and finding the kill. A player in the back, that was absolutely fantastic, and that is really all that was required. And now Liquid tie things up 5-5, as looks like our games, as we had last night, at least 3 of them will be going the distance. 5-5, 2 rounds away from victory for Red Devils or Team Liquid, or it'll be a tie to end the day. Definitely not a position Liquid would like to see themselves in.
Yeah, no ties yet for Liquid in this season, and they obviously want to avoid them as much as possible, but they're better than losses.
Yeah, and well, here's the thing. If they tie, then NIP will still be at the top with 14 points, 13 for Liquid. Next week, Liquid play NIP, which means it's very possible that at the end of the half, NIP will have a distinct advantage against Team Liquid. And, you know, then depending on what happens with Immortals, then Liquid might suddenly find themselves at the 3rd or 4th spot just because they weren't able to close out a game against the Red Devils.
Which would, of course, be not ideal, but I gotta be honest, Red Devils have just been winning fights.
Oh yes, they've been definitely showing up in this game, and they are not bowing down to Liquid anytime soon.
How did Gohan clutch that last round out? He won all his fights.
Yeah.
I mean, he won a lot that he really shouldn't have. And it's so weird that that's all that it seems to be. That's like, it feels like that's the story of today, Gassan. I mean, tactically, I would say Liquid lost that last round, hands down. They managed to clear their way into the top floor, but Red Devils did honestly a good job of falling back without, you know, losing too much manpower. From there, Red Devils set themselves up in the site and were unable to win many of the fights that were thrown their way, which is a stark contrast to many of the other rounds that we've been seeing played so far, where that has been the main thing that Red Devils is able to take in their advantage. Gosh, it's such a weird day today.
Indeed, it is the opposite day.
Mm-hmm.
And well, Velvet, again, he'll find the first kill on Nesk, eliminating the Ashe. So it seems like Paulo and Nesk are just exchanging their positions every other round. Midi back again on the Yokai. And it seems like Red Devils are not big fans of utilizing the Maestro in this situation. Of course, they went for a Brow on the Pulse. So possible C4s from below, or even from the same plane, as C4s do travel fairly well. And you can arc them above a lot of those 4-meter high walls, as basically this entire map is designed around soft destruction.
Yeah. Fitz inside of Astronomy just trying his best to hold on to the stairs here, and he knows there's some pressure coming from below. As you can see, VNX is being droned out by Gohan. They're looking for this player. They hear the phone call, chasing him down, and Gohan is going to call that out.
Yeah, they know that he's in the hallway, so Gohan now will come in to try and contest. He's got to be worried as well about Fitz. You know, these angles are all being set up by Red Devils, and Brow, look at him. What does he have? He has a pulse, so he can spot all of this and relay information. Unfortunately, Gohan's reaction is a bit too slow there, and it does allow Red Devils to push VNX away, and he's even going to rotate through the cellar onto the opposite end of the map, and finally turning off the second call, I believe, from Sexy Cake.
Yeah, a little bit of a wild goose chase here from Gohan, but that's not the main focus of this round. The main focus is what's going on in Master. You've got the Thermite successful in opening up the wall, but also the Pulse from below able to take down Palucifer. Gohan will refrag onto Velvet. It's a back and forth here. VNX finally comes up and he takes down Gohan. So the cat taken out by the mouse. Mighty on his Yokai drone, able to do some serious disruption. He's playing close to that Master doorway. It's a dangerous position to play, but he's making it work for him. Sexy Cake and Sig, the last two attackers here, and they're up against a wall as Mighty starts to flank. He's already in the Master Closet. Good position here, just inside a bathroom, and a missed headshot from Abru, but not from Sexy Cake. Fitz goes down, and Abru now has to hold on to Astro by himself. Mighty inside a Master, though, behind these last two attackers, and he will get both of them. Red Devils put themselves on match point.
I have to commend Midi basically on that echo. Just the instant he knows that he can maneuver around his opponents, he does it. He does not hesitate for a millisecond. And a big problem there that the remaining players of Team Liquid just kind of stacked up in the same position in Bathroom. At some point, there were 3. And that's not a good spot to be in. I talked about the Pulse being able to C4 from below the instant he gets a chance. And that's exactly what happened. You cannot afford to do that. It was all focused on one singular angle, and Gohan was the only one trying to shut down Rome. He was droning for himself even. There was no one aiding him. And it came back to really hurt them. The Dokkaebi was left upstairs. Sure, she was trying to fight up close, but in the grand scheme of things, the one kill God doesn't really give a matter. So, will this turn into Red Devil's victory? A big upset, I want to say. Or will Team Liquid minimum take a point at the end of it? This is, if you're NIP, you're watching this, you are smirking so hard.
Yeah, let me flip a coin. And...
heads or tails, first of all.
Well, you gotta say it, because I saw the result already.
No. First, like, if it's heads, Liquid win. If it's tails, Red Devils win.
Okay, here we go. It's heads. So,
Liquid tie.
yeah, Liquid's gonna bring this to a tie, as it turns out, according to the coin flip. There you go.
Random chance.
5 seconds to go.
So, Red Devils setting themselves up. AVG, once again, they've been here twice. They've won it once and lost it another time. Team Liquid having mixed success here, obviously. Overall, a big part of Red Devil's recent success has been their ability to win gunfights. Velvet is a big standout in this corner, so is Mighty. The fact that these two together have been fragging out for their team has been huge.
Yeah. Double Evil Eye in the hallway. That's interesting.
I mean, it's a strong investment. They're trying to, I suppose, delay as much as possible. Are we seeing the same thing, AVG? Did they open up Vault?
That's what I wanted to.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted to see. Again, I saw this post going around. We don't have Observer here. Like, Marciu is not observing. He doesn't observe Latin America.
Right, so we'll find out when we find out.
Yes, we'll find out once the whole round kind of transpires. Because, yeah, an open hole like that, you'll definitely feel the impact of it.
Yeah, and it makes sense why they would put the double Evil Eye in the hallway if it's open.
Exactly.
Because they're investing everything, and by they, I mean Red Devils are investing everything in holding that hallway. If they lose control of it, then they lose the round, or they can and have turn it into a bait. We did see that actually. The round on AVG that Red Devils did manage to win, Liquid had control of the hallway, but it was a bait. They left that wall open deliberately to try and get Liquid to walk into it. So no, here we go. It's going to be Impact Trick this time. This is what almost everyone does in this meta, because you can Impact Trick not only from above, but also through the drone hole, so it's pretty hard to avoid the tricking.
And this is why the Habana is always your better pick in this situation, but it doesn't matter. You can Impact trick this a mile away. The buck from below can't do much. Of course, the Habana is banned in this situation, as mentioned before. The grenade will not connect in a second impact. No, it will. Okay. At least the Thermite's able to open it up, and Nask will actually contest. A Brow will go down, taking down the Maestro. Big shot here to open things up for Team Liquid, as Vitch just watched the one entryway that he's sure his opponents will be coming from.
You got a prepped castle barricade there from VNX. It'll be finally opened up, and oh, some damage lost there. But what a shot from Mighty. Lucifer goes down, and here we go. It's a nice even 4-4 in the last 44 seconds.
Gohan watching from below in the buck, trying to destroy as much as possible the floor. But he'll be running out of time. 34 seconds on the clock, and it's up to Team Liquid to get this train chugging along. Vitz will set up his last remote gas canister. It gets shot right in the air. Instant gets hit on the floor. The flash right into the face. Nobody to follow up, though, unfortunately, for Team Liquid. VNX is able to find one on a Sexy Cake. Midi rotating around, as we saw in the previous round. He gets one. There we go. The buck's been removed. Ness gets the kill in the meantime on Navitz. 3v2. Zik taking a lot of damage, but exchanging a bit more. VNX will finish off Zik, leaving Nesk all on his own, and that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. VNX, the flank yet again on the castle. That is an upset, to say the least. Red Devils waited out 7-5, and you were all wrong.
The community vote was wrong. The coin toss was wrong. We were wrong. Liquid lost. As it turns out, Red Devils is the superior team. Learning something new every day.
I can already see the Reddit post. Team Liquid hiding straps for 6 Invitational.
Yep. So, great job there to Red Devils. Well-earned victory.
14 kills in Velvet on 11.
I mean,
even VNX on 12. That is insane. All the gunfights were won by Red Devils.
And that really was the story of that match. Yep. I mean, if we're being honest, Red Devils, whenever they got confronted 9 times out of 10, they're winning that fight. And